Hello and welcome back to my channel Learn with Nikhil. So here we have taken another sum on isometric projection where we have been given the front view and the top view and we have to draw its isometric view. So this is the point O. It will be somewhere here as it's the slant line. So from point O on the left side we have the top view and the front view dimension. Now this total dimension calculation, it will be 115. Height will be 30 plus 10 plus 10, that will be 50, and the depth of the figure given is 70 millimeter. So first we have calculated all the three dimensions of the figure. Now using these dimensions we will draw the rectangular box. So first we will draw a straight horizontal line, mark the point O. We'll mark the angles, that is 30 degree, 30 degree, 90 degree. Draw light lines through them. Now from point O on the left side, as you can see, we have a total distance of 115 millimeter. So here the distance will be 115 millimeter. So from O on the left side 115 millimeter. Then height is 50 millimeter. So from point O above 50 millimeter we have marked, and the depth is 70 millimeter. So with these 3 points, now we will draw the rectangular box. Draw parallel lines. The advantage of drawing the rectangular box is that our whole three-dimensional figure is inside this box only. So construct the rectangular box, drawing the parallel lines. Now we'll start with drawing the isometric figure. So from point O, as you can see, first we have a distance of 40. Now it is not starting from the point O, it is from the center. So first on this line we will mark a point at the center, and from the center 20 millimeters on both the sides will give you 40 millimeter. So draw this line dark. So this is the line of 40 millimeter. Now next, in this view you can see you have a height of 15 millimeter, but that is not the height we require right now. We require the height of 10 millimeter, which is given at the back. So this height is 10 millimeter. So marking here the distance, you can make this dark, 10 millimeter. Then again from here also it will be 10 millimeter. Now joining this, taking this line as the reference line, draw the parallel line here and you can join this part. So side view is not given, so this you will not see. This is the 40. Then you have the slant lines. Now for drawing the slant line, you don't know the length of the slant line, you know this length. So this total distance given is 35 plus 35, that is 70. It is given in the bottom view. So 70, I have marked a point. Now through this point we will join this. So directly you will get the slant line. Same this line we will construct at a height of 10 millimeter above. So from here light line drawing, this will be 10 millimeter, and using this as the reference line, we will draw the slant line over here also, and you can join this dark. So this part is done. So as you can see, this distance is 70 millimeter. You can draw this dark line, and from here also dark. Join this dark, and this part is done. Now the same thing is on the other side also. Here you can see you have a rectangular box. Then here also the same thing it is there. Then you have a square in the front. So this part is at the center line. So you can draw the center line here as the square, and the backward part is at the center. So here you have already marked the point, center point. I've projected it upward, then projecting it on this line, as the square and the circle is placed at the center. So this is the center line we have drawn. Now starting with the square, it is behind at a distance of 23 millimeter. So from this point 23 millimeter behind, I'll mark a point. That will be the center point of the square. So it is the center point of the square. So you will draw the square. We have two squares, the square 15 and square 25. Now you can see it is placed at a height above. So from the bottom it is 15 millimeter. So it is not placed, it is placed on that base, but it is at a height of above 5 millimeter more. So from here 5 millimeter above I'll mark a point, or you can draw a slight line, as the square is above, it is at a height of above, it is raised above. So this is 5 millimeter. So from the bottom it is 15 millimeter. So I've just taken 5 millimeter above, as previously we have drawn a height of 10 millimeter. I have to create a square of side 25. So from the center 12.5 millimeter on both the sides I have marked the point. Now same, you can draw the square here only at the bottom, and you can then project it upward 5 millimeter. So right now I am creating a square on this plane only. So here also from the center 12.5 millimeters on both the sides I am marking the point. Taking this as the reference line, creating a square here. And you can increase this height above at 5 millimeter above. So this is 5 millimeter. You can make this part dark now, but first do it lightly only, as most of the part is hidden behind also, so it will not be visible. In isometric it happens. So first draw it light, then make it dark. So from here also 25 millimeter, drawing a line. So from here joining above. So like this we have created the square. So I am drawing here the part lightly, as it can be hidden behind. So I am just drawing this lightly, the square, its other ends I am drawing it lightly. You can complete that later on, as it might be hidden behind, but it will be not. Now drawing the inner square, the inner square side given is 15 millimeter. So same like this we can draw. So this I have completed the square. Now the inner square of 15 millimeter. So first I am plotting the center point. We have already got the center point. Now through that center point I'll draw a square of 15 millimeter. So it is given. So directly you can mark here 15 millimeter from the center. So on this side and on this side, so this distance is 15 millimeter, and you will draw parallel lines through here, and the center intersection will be a square. So this is how we got the square. So this is the inner square, its side is 15 millimeter. Now you can complete the outer square also, as it is not overlapping, so this part will also be visible. So I am drawing it dark. So this is the outer square, then the inner square. Now the inner square will have an edge, as it is totally drilled till the bottom. So there will be this inner edge line, as it is cut or drilled till the bottom. Now this length will be the length or the height that will be 15 millimeter. So this will be 15 millimeter, as it is touching till the other end. So we have drawn the straight line. Otherwise there will be more lines or the edges if it was less than 15 millimeter. Now next we have to draw this square. Now again this square, the dimensions are given. First we will create the outer structure of the bottom part. So from here drawing a line, draw it lightly, as this will be behind the square. So this will be just the edge line we have to complete the things. So this is the bottom part. It's not necessary. You can, from here we can take a distance of 10 millimeter above. So we are creating the other end also. Joining this. Now the slant line, we have to draw it. Now for drawing the slant line, we will project this edge, this point onto this line, and we will join this. So joining this, we get the slant line. So this slant line is done. We have projected the point on the other side. Now here we have to draw the square. The square dimension given is 40. This is the center line and the dimension given. So from the end 35. So from here 35 will be the center point. From behind 35 millimeter, I mark the point. Now keeping that as the center, we have to create a square of 40. Okay, so keeping that at the center, so 20 millimeter on both the sides. So from here 20 millimeter here and 20 millimeter below. So the total distance is 40. So likewise we have to create a square again. From here draw a line, light line, and from the center it will be a side of 40. So this is 40. From here again light line, from here light line. So this distance is 40. You can complete the total square, but as you know, the square has a height again of 40 millimeter, so it will be hidden behind. So I am not drawing it completely. So from here I'll increase it at a height of 40 millimeter, that is 30 plus 10. So the square is at a height of 40, so it will be hidden, so I have not drawn. So this is at a height of 40. We can draw this dark. Draw this part dark. Draw this dark. So total we have created a cube of side 40 millimeter and the height is also 40 millimeter. So as you can see, this cube has covered the backside part, so which is not visible, so we have drawn it lightly only. So the square is done. The total cube of 40 is done. Now you have a slant line here. The slant line, you can see the distance given is 20. So from here you can see the 20. It is literally intersecting. So there might be a dimension error or it is hidden behind. The slant line is not visible from this angle. So look how I am drawing. So I have marked a distance of 40. So it exactly touches here. So the slant line is hidden from this angle, its bottom part. So it is hidden. So from here, as the thickness is 10 millimeter, so from the center 5 millimeter on both the side, it is not given in the question, so we have assumed it. So drawing light lines till the distance of 20 millimeter. Now from here above also we will construct. First we will mark the center point and then 5 millimeter on both the sides. We will join from here till here, joining this. So this will be the slant line. Drawing dark lines. This will be dark. So here the slant line is covering the some part of the square. So the other part is dark. I'm just making the whole cube dark so it will be visible properly. The light lines are the hidden lines or the lines which are behind the box. So those are lightly drawn. Now the other part. So now you'll know why I've drawn the first line slightly. Now this you can make it dark. Now here you have to create a circle of diameter 30. So already we have created a square of 40. So from the center 15 millimeter on both the sides. So from the center 15 millimeter on both the sides I have marked the point. And on this side also from the center 15 millimeter on both the sides. So that will give me from the center the thickness of 30 millimeter. I'll draw light lines and create a square. As you know the procedure for drawing the circle, we have to create a square of side of its diameter. So drawing it lightly first. So in the center we have created a square of side 30. Now joining the longest diagonal, and from the opposite diagonals joining the center point. This is the procedure you know. Now we got this 4 points. Now through these 4 points we will draw the curves. Keep your compass here. Take this as the radius. Draw the curve. Same radius. Draw the curve over here. Keep the pointer here with this as the radius. Draw the curve. With same radius keep the pointer and complete the curve. We have completed the curve. Now this curve, it is drilled at a thickness of 10 millimeter. So we'll get the curve also. So we have to move the points below 10 millimeter from where we have drawn the curve. So this is the new point of the curve. So this is, I'll draw the curve lightly as the other curves will also be visible. So this curve, some part will also be visible. So we have to move those points also below. So this point, this is the start and end point of the curve. This is the other point of the curve. So see how I am drawing it. So drawing now dark. So we have shifted this point below 10 millimeter and we have drawn the curve. And we have to shift the other curves or the other points also below 10 millimeter. So taking this as the radius, shifting this point 10 millimeter below and then drawing the curve. So only this part will be there. Again shifting this point 10 millimeter below and then draw the curve. So this is how you have to draw the curves by shifting the points. So as the circle is drilled at a height of 10 millimeter, we have to do this. If it was totally drilled till the below, it was not necessary. So the square, the edges we have drawn. Now the final edge at the back side also we have to draw it dark, the line, and we are totally done with the sum. We have to mark the dimensions. The front view and the top view is not mentioned, so I am considering this as the front view. Marking of the dimensions. Mark all the dimensions given in the question. So one more dark line is remaining at the bottom. I'll draw it as I proceed. Now here where the slant line touches the bottom, from there we have to draw this dark line. So that is the attached part. Also this final line which I was talking about, this will also be dark and the other part is light. Marking of the remaining dimensions. The square given. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe to my channel. If you have any doubts, any queries, let me know in the comment section. You can also connect with me on Instagram.